Hello, my dear friends. This is Carrie at HolisticPsychic.com. We are in for an extra special episode of Tarot for the Soul today because we are having the Fall Equinox today, and we're also moving into Libra season. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those things before we get into the cards. So each year, the fall equinox naturally compels us inward to recall, reflect, acknowledge, and celebrate however we've experienced and achieved growth and expansion for ourselves each year. Of course, this year has been a little bit extra challenging with everything that's been going on in the world, but I'm going to invite all of us to refocus in the direction of where we have gained some growth and expansion in our life. Take some time to really acknowledge and honor that for yourself. In fact, one of the empowerment practices that you can do to align with the energies of the fall equinox, which will also support this compelling towards honoring and celebrating the growth and expansion that you've achieved this year, is to create a prosperity altar. For those of you who would like some more information around what a prosperity altar is and how to create a prosperity altar, check out the video that I made about it. I'll go ahead and link it up here and down in the description as well. So prosperity altars serve as reminders of gratitude for the blessings that we have in our life, and they establish an energy that is conducive to allowing the flow of affluence to continue in your life. Another empowerment practice that I'm going to recommend, and I talked about this earlier this month in the video that's called Shamanic Empowerment Practices for September. If you watched that, you'll remember that it was a lot about restoring order, organization, clearing your home, in preparation for the energies that we're coming into now. So if you haven't done so yet, there's still time to cash in on that energy. Today and the next few days is a really good time to do some deeper layers of organization in your home environment, in your work environment, cleaning your home. I spent all day yesterday doing some deep cleaning. I even washed my windows. I always feel like clean windows support the energy of abundance because we can have a clear view of what's going on in the world, a clear sense of connection, and allowing the energies of the atmosphere from the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, the electromagnetic energy in the atmosphere to really radiate in clearly when the windows in our home are clean. So deep cleaning. Another awesome thing you can do, and I did this yesterday, I got just a little bowl of hot water with a few drops of cinnamon oil with a washcloth, and I just wiped down every wood surface in my home with that cinnamon oil, just like a few little teeny drops. I also mopped my floors with hot water with cinnamon oil as well. Cinnamon is purifying. The properties of it are connected to purification, protection, and success. It's a really good essential oil to work with in the fall. The scent of it invites those fall energies in as well. So these are some other practices that you can do, but I'll be talking a little bit more about empowerment practices that you can do for fall over the next few weeks. A few more things I want to say about the astrology that's happening now, and then we're going to get into the cards. So today we have a Mercury-Mars opposition. If you remember from last week's video, Mars is in Aries now, which is its home planet, but it's retrograde. So Mars in Aries always drives action. It's about initiating energies. In the retrograde position, it brings those energies a little bit more inward. It can create a feeling of frustration when we are in a space of wanting to get things done. It could create a dynamic of feeling like one step forward, one step back. So the Mars in Aries retrograde in and of itself can bring in a little bit of a frustrating energy, because on one hand we are compelled forward, but with the retrograde position, it's bringing us a little bit more inward. A good use of that energy would be to take action in the direction of your inner personal growth. Now, Mercury is in Libra, which inspires pragmatic, practical, diplomatic communication. So with this opposition between Mercury and Mars in the signs that they're in, this can create a little bit of a sense of volatile energy that we may unconsciously or subconsciously be compelled to just discharge spontaneously in the realm of reactionary communication. So as we are looking at the tarot and astrology in evolutionary ways, the best advice that I could give would be to use this week and however the dynamic is showing up for you around anything that feels like volatile energy happening within you, anything that feels like triggered energy as you're interacting with people. Use this as your opportunity to challenge yourself to speak in very conscious manners rather than reactionary manners, okay? So this is one way that we can harness the energies of what's going on astrologically this week and aligning that with the energies of the fall equinox. Okay, let's go ahead and delve into the cards. So I'm using my Universal Rider-Waite deck again today. I had another deck in mind that I wanted to use, but I left it at my other session room at my boutique. I'm at my home studio right now, so we're gonna just go with the Universal Rider-Waite, one of my go-to decks, and I'm gonna begin with a 7-card spread, and we'll see what comes up. And so I'm just taking a moment here to shuffle the cards. Let me just tune in. And setting the intention that the information that comes through today is coming from only the highest sources of guidance possible, and that all of the insights that come are supporting our collective journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. Okay. So the first card that I'm going to look at today is representing the primary message that's coming from the universe, the primary energy transmissions or light code transmissions coming in from the universe that are supporting our journeys in awakening. So let's see what that wants to be here. It is the 7 of Swords showing up reversed. I believe the 7 of Swords came up last week or the week before, and so we're starting out with this. So here's the card. It's showing up reversed, and I'll talk about that in a moment. The card in and of itself is the energy of gathering information. When I'm seeing this in the reverse position, in the card position that is indicating whatever transmissions of awareness are coming from the universe that are supporting our collective journeys right now, I see this as a reminder for us to be really open and aware and allowing ourselves to receive whatever personal codes of light or transmissions of awareness are meant for us individually. To me, this is an indicator to set aside space and time for meditation. It is Swords, which has to do with mental energy, and in the reverse position, I would say that this 7 of Swords is talking about relaxing the mind through meditation, allowing the mind to be in more of an open, receptive state of being where we can receive transmissions of insights, inspirations, and awareness that is coming from the universe that is supporting our collective journeys as we are all individually being guided by the universe. So taking some space and time for meditation seems to be what the message is. This is how we can gain our own individual, unique insights, information that we need to move forward on our journeys ahead. Okay, so now the next 4 cards I'm going to be looking at are going to be around how we can utilize ourselves holistically, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually to actualize the message that's coming through. So we're going to look at mentally first is the Queen of Cups, also showing up reversed. The Queen of Cups embodies the archetype of a person who is a natural healer, counselor, teacher, mentor, guide. And in the reverse position, it's asking you to have some self-reflection around how you are being compelled to show up as a light worker in the world, how you are being compelled to contribute to mentoring, guiding, supporting other people in your lives. This Queen of Cups showing up in the position that indicates how we can utilize our mental energies is through meditation, that's indicated in this card, the message that's coming up there. Allow those meditations to support you in bringing however it is that you're feeling compelled to contribute to the great awakening that's happening right now. Let that come to the light of conscious awareness. Emotionally speaking, let's see what wants to come up here. We have the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is in and of itself a lot about refining skills that we have through repetition, through practice. As this relates to the card position that's connected to our emotional state of being, ask yourself, am I being inspired to cultivate certain skill sets? Am I being inspired to learn more that will help me to cultivate certain skill sets that I have? Let the sense and feeling of enthusiasm and delight be what's guiding decisions that you're making along those lines. We'll tie it all in together once some of these other cards come out. So we're going to look at the physical component. How can we physically be engaged in our life here? Interesting, it's the Hanged Man showing up reversed. The Hanged Man reversed usually compels us in the direction of seeing things from a new perspective and shifting from a period of integration into more of a period of activity. There seems to be a big theme showing up around allowing senses, feelings, and intuitions that come through taking space for meditation to be what's guiding our action. Now, as we're moving into the fall season, this isn't really the time to launch a startup, but activities can be around receiving the return of the efforts that you've already set in motion this year, receiving them, integrating them, taking what is of value, clearing away anything that has served its purpose. So this Hanged Man reversed is a lot about trusting the flow of how to take action, when to take action. It's also about remembering to acknowledge the growth and expansion that you've achieved in your life this year, and be open to receive the return of the efforts that you have already set in motion. We're going to take a look at what's going on the spiritual level here. I feel like it wants to be this card. The Ace of Cups. I feel like some of these cards have been coming up in the past few weeks, which is very telling of some longer term themes and cycles that are manifesting for us all now. So the Ace of Cups in the position that indicates our spiritual awareness revitalizes hope. It's inspiration that comes to us on sensing and feeling levels, which is also connected to our intuition. It's new ideas emerging from the subconscious mind, especially it being in the card position that indicates our spiritual processes right now. So as I'm looking at the cards collectively here, the message overall again seems to be take time out for meditation so that you can personally receive whatever light codes, whatever transmissions of awareness, knowledge, and information is meant for you specifically. And that will lead us all individually and collectively into a space where we can have clear awareness around how our senses, feelings, intuitions are guiding us to take action. A part of that includes the balance of giving and receiving, or expressing and listening. Okay, so now we're going to look at the main challenge energy. The Knight of Pentacles showing up as a challenge energy says that we're all sort of ready to step more into abundance, prosperity, based on what our unique goals are. I think this is coming up in the challenge area because of some of the challenges that are presented with the astrology that's happening now. And we are also beginning to come into the shadow period for Mercury retrograde, which happens in a few more weeks. So again, it's like we might feel like on one level that we're ready to leap into action, but on another level, there's still some preparation work to do. And so it's wise to go with the flow and honor whatever guidance you're receiving to further prepare before leaping into action. And so that is the challenge. And again, utilizing our intuition is the way to work through that challenge. Let's take a look at the opportunities. What opportunities are showing up for us in the realm of expansion and growth this week? So here's the card. It's showing up reversed. When I'm looking at this, the figure in the card is looking up towards the heavens. This says it's time to really, really take some time to tune into what is your true inner guidance conveying to you about where you personally have the most room for personal growth, development in your life, and use your own inner guidance. We're all being compelled to strengthen our confidence in regard to our ability to access our own inner guidance for ourselves, and that really only comes through the experience of doing it. Taking the time to connect with your inner guidance, trusting what comes in, and letting your actions, your choices be connected to that. So the opportunity that we have this week is to strengthen our connection with spirit, which will also have the effect of supporting us in cultivating more of a feeling of oneness with spirit. And then the last card I'm looking at today is the Power card. And let me just take a moment here to dig down deep. What's the Power card today? Power card. The High Priestess, showing up reversed. So the High Priestess, of course, is a lot about intuition. It's also about dream time. It's things connected to the sacred feminine. And, you know, we are moving into more of a feminine time of year right now with the fall season, because it's about allowing, surrendering, releasing, letting go. These are all teachings that are connected to sacred feminine wisdom teachings, utilizing our intuition. Our intuition is speaking to us through our senses and feelings this week, and we need to let the mind get out of the way, which is why this Seven of Swords is showing up reversed. And our intuition seems to be guiding us specifically in the direction around what our ambitions are, in how and whatever we're being guided to manifest or create in the world. So the time of manifesting and creating is not right now. Right now is more about receiving the return of whatever's manifesting for us based on what we've already set in motion. And we're beginning to really sort of dial in and cultivate new awarenesses that will support us in the next sphere of manifestation when that time comes. But again, that time is not right now. Remember, Fall Equinox is going with the flow, acknowledging, celebrating where we've experienced growth and expansion, clearing away anything that has served its purpose, creating space for new waves of manifestation to come in. But then within that, as things are manifesting, we're naturally going to be feeling compelled and inspired around what that next sphere of activity will be for us. Okay, guys. Happy equinox to you. I'm going to be chiming in later this week with some additional sacred wisdom teachings and empowerment practices that are supporting us all with the energies that are happening now. So stay tuned, and I will see you later this week. Blessings and namaste.